Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari and you are watching my knitting podcast videos. And this is actually going to be the last episode that I'm filming from our old home. And we are moving next week on Friday, so there's a lot of packing and recycling of things going on in our home at the moment. Next week on Friday we have a moving company coming to help us to move everything into the new house. So we finally get to move there, which is amazing. In case you are new to my channel or haven't watched the past few episodes, just a small recap. We bought this new house, which actually like a pair house, so there are two houses together, sharing one wall between them. So we bought one half of the house, and it's a new building, so they started building it in January. So we bought the place last December, just before Christmas, and the house didn't exist back then, so we bought it. And during past winter, last spring and this summer they have been building it, and now it's finally ready, and next week on Friday we finally get to move in there. And it's a bit bigger place than we have at the moment. So at the moment we have just 2 bedrooms, and in the new house we're going to have 3 bedrooms, which means that I'm going to have my own office, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to, because for the past few years I've been working on our kitchen table from our bedroom. Of course I have the shared office space in downtown Helsinki, but I'm usually there only about 1 day, maybe sometimes 2 days a week, so I mostly work from home. So I'm really looking forward to getting my own office space, because especially now that I'm working only on my own business, it's really hard to make the like change from working to free time, like dividing those two. So I'm really looking forward to having the office room where I can close the door when I'm not working. So there's like more distinguishing between those two parts of my life. So that's something that is happening next week. I've also been working with the book. So I told you a few episodes back that I signed a contract that I will be I have already started working on my book, and it's going to come out next autumn. Somehow it feels like a long time that it's 1 year from now, but actually it's going to go really quickly, and so there's a lot of things to do. Some of the designs I'm going to knit myself, but there's really no way that I can come up with 20 new designs at the same time as I'm running this day-to-day business. So I have found a couple of great sample knitters, and I started working with a few new sample knitters, and so they are helping me getting the book patterns ready. And I have also some sample knitters that I have used earlier. One of them actually knitted this one for me. I will show it to you. This is a new pattern that is coming out, and it's not for the book, but it's already been test knitted, so it's coming out in maybe November or early December, so it might look familiar to you. It's a cardigan version of my Kuutar pullover pattern. So I've been a lot of you asking for a cardigan version of it, and to be completely honest, I don't really like working or knitting cardigans. I prefer knitting pullovers, and that's why I have more pullover patterns than cardigan patterns. There's always that when you're working with cardigans, unless you stick it, you have to work it back and forth. And I also find making the button bands a bit tedious. I don't like sewing buttons, so that's why I usually prefer working with pullovers. But it turned out really nicely. So my sample knitter, she is also called Sari, by the way. She worked the body of this cardigan for me, and then I made the button bands and the neckband. And I already bought buttons for it, but I haven't had time to sew them on. But it's a double folded button band, so it's going to be a bit sturdier and doesn't start to flare as easily as just like a ribbed button band. So this is the Kuutar cardigan, and for this one the yarns that I used for this are Sandnes Garn Silk Alpakka or Alpakka Silke, I can't remember how the name is called. The colorway is called Kardemomme, and then there is a silk mohair from Gepard yarn, so it's the kid Seta from them, and it's a really beautiful brownish, grayish brown color. I will write yarn names and all the pattern names and everything that I mentioned below this video, so you can easily check them out. I will write the color codes of the yarns and the yarn names, and if there are links to patterns and so on, they are always below this video, so you can easily access them. But anyway, this is the Kuutar cardigan, and like I said, it's already being test knitted at the moment, so I'm hoping to get the pattern out by the end of November or very early December. So that's something that I have used sample knitters for. Other things that I have been doing ever since I filmed the last episode for you, or my previous episode. Actually, I finished the Aurelia pullover. As you can see, I'm wearing it. I had been working on it ever since July. I started this on our holiday in Italy in July, and then I worked the yoke, the raglan increases, and one sleeve. I wrote the pattern, I sent it out to test knitting, and after that I started working on the second sleeve. But there were quite a lot of things happening. The move, I worked on this online course, and then the book and everything else. I didn't have time to finish the body, and then I had a test knitting deadline and everything happening, and then I realized that I still have to work the body, so I focused solely on working on this for a while until I finished it. And I actually finished it the night before the day that I was set to release the pattern, so I cut it pretty close, but anyway, I met the deadline that I had set for myself, and the Aurelia pattern is now out. So this is knitted seamlessly, starting at the neck, and there are raglan increases. It's all charted, only charts, not written pattern this time. But anyway, charted, and then the sleeves and body are worked separately in the round. So it's a DK weight yarn. I used a Finnish dyer called Aara, and their DK based yarn called Aara Aatos, and the colorway is called Karri. So everything is below this video, and yeah, it's the Aurelia pullover, and like I said, the pattern is now available on Ravelry. Another pattern that I released was actually yesterday. This shawl pattern, I'm not sure if you can see the whole of it. And this is called Febuda shawl, and it's named after a beach in my childhood hometown. It's a place that is very special to me, and that's a place where we spent all the hot summer days. So there's like this sandy beach and these like smooth rocky cliffs, and We used to go there to swim in the summer, and there's this like nice little cafe where we used to buy ice cream and sit on the cliffs and eat it. And when I was a bit older, especially when we started to get our driver's license, we used to drive there always in the night, especially in the summer, sit on the cliffs, watch the sunset. So I have so many nice special memories from that place. And when I started to design this shawl, I started to think about the nights that I have sat on those rocky cliffs and watched the sea and the warmth of the rocks, and I wanted to create something that embodies that feeling, and also something that you can wrap around yourself when you're outside in the summer and when the nights start to get a bit chilly. So this is what I came up with, and it's actually something that I already knitted back in February, March, and I did this in collaboration with my local yarn store Snurre. So I got the yarn from them. I used CaMaRose Lamauld in 2 colors. I will write below this video, and we were supposed to have like this let's get together and knit night, but then before Easter, when this was going I was going to release the pattern and we were going to have this knit night, the COVID pandemic got worse again, so we were afraid that people wouldn't come, or worse, they would come and get sick. So we decided to postpone it, and then we thought about releasing the pattern and having the knit night in May. But then I started to think that this is such a warm and chunky weight yarn, so it's like this Aran weight yarn, and it's the shawl is big and it's cozy and it's really warm. So I was starting to think that May, summer is coming. Who wants to knit a chunky shawl like this in May? So that's why we decided to postpone it until now. So now it's released, and yesterday I was at Snurre and talking to people and showing the shawl and helping people to choose yarns for it. So this is how it looks like, and you can find the pattern on Ravelry. I will link the pattern below this video. And also there's still the early bird discount until Sunday. Is it? I can't remember the date of the Sunday, but it's below this video. So until Sunday you can get the pattern for 20% discount, and you don't need any code for that. So it's automatically set up on Ravelry when you put the shawl pattern in your shopping basket. But I will link it below this video. Another thing that I have finished and currently writing the pattern for is the Levi pullover that I showed you in my previous video. So this is something that it like totally flew off my needles. I started to crave some color work. I always get this, like, I think it comes at this time of the year. I want to start making socks, and also I want to start knitting color work. So it's kind of like this winter thing for me. And it was my first time knitting a sweater using Istex Lettlopi. And it's a bit harsh on my skin, but I noticed that after a while, after I've been wearing it for a while, it doesn't itch as much. So I'm hoping it will soften a bit when I use it. But it's now finished. Like I said, I'm writing the pattern for it, so I'm hoping to have the call for test knitters for this one next week. So I decided to add a bit of color work also for the hem and for the sleeves, and I added this little stripe of color work here at the middle of the sleeve for 2 reasons. First of all, to keep knitting the sleeves a bit more interesting, so there's something happening, and also this is just around my elbow. So I'm hoping it will make this a bit more durable, because I think the yarn is quite soft. I don't know how it takes to wear yet, so I wanted to add a bit of thickness to the elbow, so when I'm using it there's like this double thickness because of the two colors over there, so I'm hoping it will make it last a bit longer. So it's knitted top down, and I added a bit of short rows for the back. So the back is, as you can see, it's, maybe you can see, yeah, here. It's slightly longer than the front, so it makes it fit a bit better. So I'm calling this Levi. You could also pronounce the name Levi if you want, but the Finnish pronunciation of it is Levi. And it's like this fell, not mountain, but like a bigger hill at the northern part of Finland. So I decided I wanted to call it that, and also because this is such a unisex design, so I think Levi is a nice name for it. I know a lot of patterns are so that you could actually use it whether you're whatever your sex is, so they're like totally unisex. For example, I think this pullover is totally unisex, but because it has a woman's name, because it's called Aurelia, I think it might mean that some men are put off by it, so they think that it's a women's sweater, even though there's nothing with the pattern, especially if you make the body a bit longer, that wouldn't fit men as well. So that's why when I have patterns that I think are unisex, for example Billy, I often choose names that are unisex, just so that people realize that it's not just for women. Aurelia, I think this would also look really nice on men, but I don't know why I chose the name Aurelia. Maybe I should have chosen something else for it, but anyway, it's called Aurelia. After I finished this one, I kind of like felt that I hadn't gotten the color yoke thing out of my system yet, so I immediately cast it on for a second pullover. This one has a gray or dark color here on the top, and then it's white, and I actually wanted to do the like reverse of it. So this is what I've been making. Actually, I worked color work in just a couple of nights. It came really quickly, and now I'm waiting. I didn't have enough of the black, so I ran out of the black, and I just ordered some more because it's sold out almost everywhere in Finland. So I had to really look for a yarn store that still had this black color in stock. So this is the heathered black 005 colorway of Lettlopi. So it's going to transition to black for the body and for the sleeves. And this is called, the other one was called Levi, so this one is called Ruka, and it's also because they're like kind of like sister designs. So that is like the it's another similar fell in northern Finland, so that's why the name Ruka for this one. You can see it here. So this is something that I've been working on. Like I said, it kind of like flew off my needles. I made the color work in, like I said, in just a few nights, and now it's on hold until I get more of the black. And it has the same colors as the Levi pullover, except I chose to use a different gray for that. So this is the darker gray, the colorway 57 that I used for Levi and Levi, and this is number 56, and this is what I'm using for Ruka. So you can see it's just slightly lighter. I have two more things that I wanted to show you. One of them is a mitten that I started a while back. I'm using the same cable pattern that I used last winter for my Ursula socks. So this is the first mitten coming up. So it has a double folded cuff, and then this continuous thumb corset. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if this construction has another name, but it starts from here and it mimics the way your thumb moves. So I took the thumb stitches on hold, and now I'm working on the palm and the rest of the hand. So it has a cable pattern, as you can see over there. And for this one I'm using, let's see if I have the yarn here. It's Lana Gatto Feeling. I can't remember the colorway. I don't have the skein here next to me. I thought I took it, but I didn't bring it here. But I will write the name below this video. So it has a bit of cashmere in it, silk and cashmere. So the yarn is absolutely beautiful. It's so soft and smooth. It's a really nice to work with. I haven't used this for anything else earlier, but I really like how it's turning out. And then it's over here. This is something that I was a bit unsure about. Last winter everybody was making balaclavas, and I thought that they are really nice, but then I grew up in the 80s and I used to wear hats like that when I was a kid, so that kind of like threw me back to those times. And was somehow I thought that maybe I'm not cool enough to pull one off, and also because it was a bit of a weird trend, and then I thought maybe I will sit and wait for a bit to see if it sticks around, because that's like kind of like I don't want to contribute to fast fashion. So if that's something that is just for one winter and then it's away, maybe I don't want to catch that trend. But it seems like it's sticking around, and after seeing people wear balaclavas for 1 year, I have started to warm up to them, and I decided to cast on my own version of it. So I've been working it in ribbing. So I started with this panel on the top, and after that I picked up stitches on both sides of it, and joined at the neck here at the bottom, and then worked down. And now I just picked up stitches around the opening for face, and put it on carefully. Even though there are the stitches around it, it looks like this. And I think you have to take a bit of hair here on the sides so it looks better. Otherwise it feels like I'm wearing a swimming cap or something like that. So I really need to figure out a bit about the styling, but it looks like this. So I have done the neck, and now I'm working with the ribbing around the face. So this is what it will start to look like, and I'm really happy how these increases turned out over here. Some small detail, but super happy about that. And the yarn that I'm using for this is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday, and the colorway is called Kardemomme. And I actually plan to knit a second one. I've already picked out yarns for a second one. So I have Isager Silk Mohair and also Tosh Tosh Merino Light. This is the colorway called Oak. So this is going to be the combination for my second balaclava. And after I see that the first sample is okay, I will write down the pattern or finalize it. I've been writing it as I go, so it should be ready for test knitting maybe also next week, as well as the Levi pullover. But that's everything I had for today. Now I will go and get back to packing everything, and next time I'm talking to you I will be filming from our new house. So until then, see you, bye!